over. 98.5 Speed FM.
Catch us if you can.
Stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am lucky. I am lucky. You are my favorite song. I am lucky. I am lucky. Stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am lucky. I am lucky. You are my favorite song. I am lucky. I am lucky.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet, Terhemen.
And the Speed Lane is where we talk about issues that affect our lives, our communities, our children, our morality, and even society at large. Now, today we are looking at something that is becoming very common in secondary schools, and that is use of phones among students in school. Use of phones in secondary school. That is what we are going to be talking about today. Now, phones are now everywhere among students. Many secondary school students carry smartphones to school, and they are not just using them for communication anymore. They are using them for entertainment, social media, and different activities, even during school hours. And we even see situations where students take pictures, record videos, and then a lot of things like that in secondary school while still in uniform. Some of these contents end up on social media, and in some cases it affects even discipline and school environment. So why are secondary school students now using phones in school? Why is this becoming so common? Is it that the schools are no longer paying that much attention? Is it that the parents are no longer paying that much attention? What is actually happening? How does this even affect them? We are going to be talking about even the use of phones in general by children that same age. So you also can call in to be part of this conversation. And the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That's 090-3648-5868. Why are secondary school students now using phones in school? I mean, it wasn't like that before, right? So what's actually happening? So let's hear from you, Juliet, since you're here with me. Have you noticed that it has become common for secondary school students to actually use phones in school?
Yes, it's true. Because most of the students, I don't know whether it's from the parents or maybe it's from the schools, especially all these federal schools, you know. So like they more focus on other things, and then they even allow students to be bringing phones, which is very, very wrong.
Okay.
And then sometimes parents take this very, very common. They don't see it as anything, but it's affecting their studies.
Okay.
Yes, use of phones in secondary school is affecting our studies, and it's a distraction. Yes.
So what brought that to your attention? How were you able to like know that, okay, these days it has become common that secondary school students are bringing phones to school? Like, have you seen it somewhere? Is it that you've seen it on social media and stuff like that?
On social media too, and then even around. Yes, so like most of the students now, even when they are going to school, you know that some of them, all these senior, especially those of them that are in SS3, they like bringing phones to school is now a hobby to them. So like I don't know whether the parents pay more attention to it or they just take it that is something normal or something common, so they should like allow them to be using phones in school. But I think that is very wrong.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, and if you have just joined us, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet, Terhemen.
And this morning, well, we are talking about use of phones in secondary school. If you notice, if you look around, then you see that secondary school students have started bringing phones to school, because we see videos out there. We see a lot of things. Like, have you ever come across a video, you know, online, or even a post while still in uniform? You see some things when you scroll on social media, you know, you see some students, maybe they're even playing games in class. Some even bully other students. You know, recently I saw a video like that where a student was bullied, and that was even posted online. Like, they do some things like this, and for some reason they feel like, okay, it's swag, or I am trying to say, okay, I am like this, you know. People even set up maybe during break activities where they will take other students maybe behind and question you, like, what were you doing? I saw that you sent a message. I've seen a video like that, which is why I'm mentioning that directly. I saw that you were chatting with someone that is supposed to be with me, and so you have to explain, or we'll beat you up here, and then even post it out there for people to also see. So things like this are actually concerning, and one might want to ask, what is actually the problem? Like, is it that schools are now relaxing when it comes to the rules that were there, you know, no phones in school? Or would they say that they have not been seeing all of these things happen? Like, would they say they are not seeing that, okay, these students are actually coming to school with phones, or even on the side of the parents? Because it starts from there. I mean, now it's even timely, because resumption, you know, it's that period again, so it's actually time to check, right? So you also can call in to be part of this conversation. Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Why are secondary school students now using phones in school? Call in and let us hear from you. Tell us what you have seen, how common this is, you know, from what you have seen, maybe even online or even offline, because some persons live in areas like that. And, you know, for someone who maybe you went to school, let's say a while back, you're able to tell that, okay, this is not the case. Meanwhile, number for you to call, the new line for you to call now, do not call that one, is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Pay attention. This is the number for you to call, because we've got connection issues with the other line. So if you want to be part of the show this morning, this is the number for you to call. It's 0808 427 5464. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, please.
Yeah, please move away from your radio set or turn down the volume.
Is it okay?
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Mrs. Tina Abraham. I'm calling for international market.
Welcome to the show. Mrs. Tina, if you could move further away from your radio set, it would help.
I'm driving.
Oh, okay. You can just turn down the volume.
I've parked.
All right.
I've off it, yes.
All right, go on.
I had your discussion. This is very important. This modern society, children of nowadays, I will blame the parents. why did the parents get their children phone in the first place? Even if they have to give them phone, they will check them if they are going to school. When they are home, they can give them that privilege. It's allowed. But in those days, we don't even to get our books to school is what we know. But these days, you see children walking on the street using their phone to browse, to do whatever. It is not good at all. Sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time I blame the parents for giving them the phone.
Okay.
If at all, they are the people that give them the phone. If not, if they see them with phone, the parents, they will ask them, why did they get this phone? And then they will try to collect the phone for them to face their studies. I vividly remember when my son was trying to drive my car, I said, no, get your own.
Okay.
Wait for time.
When your time
you
comes.
get your own, you will get the best. And that is what happened, to the glory of God.
Okay. All right.
You know? So I blame the parents. The parents should check their children if they are going to school.
All right.
They should not be allowed with phone to school.
Okay.
Even at home, it's not every time, because nowadays it's laptop they use. They go into laptop and get some things. Even in their jam, they brush some things and get it. But that should be done at home, not in school. In the part of the school too, the teachers are feeling reluctant.
Okay.
If they see children with phone, they should seize it. Okay. The rules and regulation of the school, they should seize the phone. And they should invite the parents to the school. I'm talking as a teacher.
Okay.
A retired one.
All right.
You know, they should seize the phone from the child and ask the child not to bring it again. If they see the child with it again, they collect it, and they should invite the parents to come to the school. Yes, that is what I think it will help.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show this morning, Mrs. Tina. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet Terhemen.
And this morning we are talking about use of phones in secondary schools. Why is that becoming common? Why are secondary school students now taking phones to school and doing whatever they like with it? And it just looks like, is it that the schools are getting more relaxed, just like Ms. Tina said? Or is it that, okay, the parents are no longer checking properly? Because back then, that would not be, it's not something that they would take. And you know, the funniest thing, it seems like they are not even hiding anymore. Like the videos are out there with the faces, because, well, no one can see it. Right in school uniforms, right inside classes, you see some of these videos doing unspeakable things, you know, and then no one actually says anything. Or are they actually saying anything? Well, you call in and share with us what you know. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on the Speed Lane. Why are secondary school students now using phones in school? Call in and let us hear from you. And we heard from Mrs. Tina earlier. Hello.
Good morning, the presenter.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yes, I am Emmanuel Kulungu, calling from Ajaba Layout.
All right, welcome to the show, Mr. Emmanuel.
Yes, I want to commend you for this program.
All right, thank you so much.
The issue here is teachers in secondary school have felt reluctant or have rather stopped checking the children. If you check the children when they are coming to school, at the gate, their bag are searched by prefects. Back in our days, you are not permitted to carry such a thing to school. You will be checked. So if the teachers relax, it is their work now to sit up and check these students. Because as our parents, you may check, but they may hide it. But entering school, there's no other place they will hide the phone. So you will check and bring out the phone. And for the students, let them know that secondary school level is the best education level you will get all your life. If you don't get it at secondary school, you are not going to get it at the university. It is what you get from the secondary school that aids you to go successfully in the university. So if you take secondary school studies not seriously, you will not get it at all in the higher institution. So my advice is that they should stop. Okay, take for instance now, If you tell a student 4 times 4, he will be he will be checking his phone to make it.
Okay.
Back in the days, you will make it with your brain.
Yes.
So if you're not getting it now and you go high, you will be just lie on machines to do everything.
Okay.
So it's better you start getting it from secondary school. That is my advice.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show this morning. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior, your host on the show this morning, together with
Juliet, Terhemen.
And we're talking about use of phones in secondary schools. Why are secondary school students now using phones in school? It wasn't always like this. It was a thing that was paid much attention to. In fact, if a phone was seen in school, you see how other students will be surprised. Like, how was this person able to bring a phone to school? And the punishment that comes with it. But these days, it's more like they even flaunt it, out there. They even post stuff while still in school uniform, And so does it mean that that the parents out there are no longer paying attention when these children leave to school, or is it the schools that are no longer doing enough to stop such behaviors like this to actually happen? Now you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090, that is 0808 rather 427 5464. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. Why are secondary school students now using phones in school? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you. Tell us what you know. Tell us what you see around where you are, from the schools these days. What would you say the actual problem is? And how would you say that this is affecting? Hello?
It's good to say good morning to you.
Yes, good morning to you.
This is Sir Benjamin Igege, calling from Yagba, North Bank, Makurdi.
Welcome to the show, Sir Benjamin.
Actually, it is not about you to use phone. Because communication is very vital in our life. But the rate at which phone is being misused is what we are going to talk about.
Okay.
Children these days, sometimes anything could happen while on their way to school, even while in school. And they need to communicate their parents.
Okay.
But the fact remains that even if students are to be given phone, let it not be the Android phone. Let it be the type that they can just make communication and not do subscribe or do anything further than making apart from making calls. I am a teacher and I have had personal experience on this matter.
Okay.
Sometimes we blame parents because when phones are seized, it is the same parents that come to fight in the school.
Okay.
You say, I've used my money to buy phone for my child. Why should you seize the phone? We have called PTA meetings severally and talked to them. Yet it's the same parents that complain when phones are seized from children. Another one again is that children no longer concentrate much because of the use of phone. It's not only children in schools, even those ones that are at home. Maybe because of the corruption that is prevailing in the society. So personally, I would advocate that they may be allowed to use phone, but at a limited space. If they bring phone to school, not the Android phone, they should keep with their teachers or in a particular place that will be secured.
All right.
So that if there is a call, they can send for them.
All right.
So that they cannot respond to calls. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, Sir Benjamin, to be part of the show this morning. It's the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior with
Juliet, Terhemen.
And this morning we are talking about use of phones in secondary schools. Why are secondary school students now taking phones to school, and then it's looking like it's a normal thing, like it's so common that they are not even hiding, like they can do it out there, take videos, and the worst part, just for entertainment or whatever things they are doing. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Akmi. My name is Sweet Engineer.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Now, I would like to side with the last caller, but not completely.
Okay.
The thing is, we cannot do away with these things. The world is going digital. We cannot do away with these things. If you go to advanced countries, I just want to say this because eventually that is all that will be seen, will be using. If you go to advanced countries, have gone beyond pen and paper. You don't even see students with pen and paper. It is just because we are still in underdeveloped countries, and we are seeing this as very strange. Right? Now, there are only things that we can do to control this thing. Calm down. There are things that we can do to control this thing. I am an advanced teacher, this new generation teacher. I teach digital literacy, e-governance, and I teach all of this. So I am telling you that we can do away with it. We need to see it, and we're even going to see it more. They can try to say, do not bring these things. This education system will not remain archaic to what it is now. Eventually, it will be all digital literacy. You will be teaching all these things in our schools. And it is something that it should be a welcome development. We shouldn't be trying to block it. I understand that when some things are coming in the system, it is quite very strange for lots of people who don't know how to manage it. And that is presently happening. Now, there are ways. There is what we call parental guidance that you can even impute on your child's iPad or Android phone or whatever, that they will be restricted in areas that they can use the phone for. You understand?
Yes.
Now they can also bring out new, rules in schools that this one we should be able to control it by you can bring your phones, but there should be stipulated period for that to be. The phones to be used, so that they are hiding it, and they are not. They know exactly when it's proper for them to use.
Okay.
Are we
All right.
So it is something that it should not be shut down. As a party, it cannot be shut down because it's coming, and it's going to take over. And there is nothing we can just push it back a little bit and like this, but eventually it's there, and it's only best that we own it now and take this digital literacy proper, because advances are going far ahead of us, and it's very wrong for anybody to want to.
Okay. Hello, can you hear us? Okay, we cannot hear you any longer, but you could still call us back again. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet, Terhemen.
And we're talking about use of phones in secondary school. And just in, information just got to mean that Sir Benjamin Eigege, who called earlier, is actually King James Year's teacher was King James teacher at St. Peter's Secondary School, Vandika. Imagine how the world works, and not just a teacher, but a patron of the press club, where King James was the president and also editor-in-chief of the school magazine.
Wow.
So we can see that there was potentials right from there, even right from secondary school. They were making names. So I don't know how he feels, but for me, I feel like it's like a happy feeling to hear like a teacher call in, and when you're even doing good, for yourself. So this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet, Terhemen.
And this morning we are talking about use of phones in secondary schools. So why are secondary school children, students now using phones in secondary school? Why is this now allowed? Why is it normalized? Why is it going like no one is actually saying anything about it? So you also can call in to be part of this conversation. Number for you to call is 0808 427-5464. That is 0808-427-5464. And we heard from Sir Benjamin,
Yes.
and he was saying about how it's not a bad thing to use phones in general, even at
Yes.
home. Like children can be given these phones, and we are going to come to that in details.
Yes,
Go
and
on.
even emphasize on the parents. Yes.
Yes.
So the parents, most of them, it's the parents. From the parents, the parents sometimes think it's nothing, and then even if they seize their children phone in school, they will now come and then
Okay, yes, when he spoke about
shouting
coming
around.
to fight
Yes.
about it in school.
very, very
So
wrong.
he thinks that, okay, children should actually be given phones because, for communication, things are
Yes.
getting better. So
but not Android phone.
not Android phones. That is what he said. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, yes. Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning to your colleague there.
All right.
Money.
I am engineer Sunday after calling from Durban.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, Engineer Sunday.
Nice topic. Yes, I think it's like this.
Mm.
It's time for everything.
Mm.
Yes.
Time for everything. If you do the right thing at the wrong time, you get it wrong.
Okay.
Yes, we know. We are a digital world.
Mm.
We have to be taken gradually.
Mm.
Even in advanced countries that they are talking, I heard in Australia, another country there, they are banned under 16 for using phone or go to social media
Mm.
because of the evil, that emanate from those areas.
Mm.
You see, if they are using these phones, if there is a period in the timetable for digital learning,
Mm.
okay, they can bring their phone computer, they will learn.
Okay.
Then when you are teaching, the student will be pinging his phone,
Yeah.
Facebooking and doing that, all this and that.
Mm.
We shouldn't encourage that kind of thing.
Okay.
Or visiting social media, visiting site that they shouldn't visit. We should not lie. We talk of digital, that AI. Yes, AI is very useful, but look at the problem is causing now.
Mm.
Everything that is good has a bad side.
Mm.
So we need to control these things. The medicine government made a law that made the second we shouldn't carry phones. If they are not enforcing the law properly.
Mm.
That's why. Let's do it gradually until we get there. It can't be saying, so we are the digital world. We jump guns. We jump guns. We go.
Mm.
Yeah.
That we cannot solve.
Mm.
That's my take.
Okay.
Everything has to be controlled properly, and at the appropriate time, proper things will be done.
Mm.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Engineer Sunday, for calling in to be part of the show this morning. It's the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet, Terhemen.
and we are talking about use of phones in secondary schools. And still speaking on, what our caller said earlier, we were talking about how some parents even come to fight when
Yes.
phones are seized, that Sir Benjamin mentioned.
Yes.
And he was giving a suggestion that phones should actually be given to school children, but then it
Yes.
shouldn't be Android phones.
Yes.
So what do you think about that? You can also call in and let us hear your thoughts on that as well. And he mentioned that children no longer concentrate because of the
Yes.
phones, even apart from schools.
The phone
and
is a
we'll-
distraction
and
already.
we'll also come to that part. And there was a caller before Sir Benjamin,
Yes.
before his call went
Tina.
off. Yes, Tina. No, not Tina, not Madam Tina.
Okay.
Before this, our last caller, but then
Okay.
we couldn't get him clearly before it went off. But he can still call back. Well, one thing I noted from what he says, bringing phones to secondary school should not be completely banned. That is what he said.
Yes.
But then it should be monitored, because it's a digital world, and whether we like it or not, he thinks that it will come to that place. If you're listening, you can still call us back because we really want to hear the rest of what you had to say.
Yes.
And he said it will still come to that, whether we like it or not. So what
Yes.
should actually be done is that it should be monitored instead of completely stopped.
Exactly.
So what do you think about that, Juliet? Like, would you say that is a fair thing, that phones should be allowed, but then it should be monitored?
Yes, it should be allowed, but it should be monitored. Because that sometimes most of these students, they will see something online and then they want to try it. But
Okay.
that sometimes if you are watching something, sometimes if it is a very dangerous something, they will give warning that you should not attempt to do this.
How many people are
And
listening to that?
some people will let me give a trial. Okay, there was this particular guy, he died because he watched something in a phone, and then in the movie somebody killed himself and then still wake up.
Go on.
So, like,
someone ended his life, and still
Yes.
in a movie.
Yes.
So,
So he tried to do the same thing, and that was when everything just ended like that.
okay, because he
So-
thought that he could also try that and still wake up.
Yes. He can also
Okay.
try it and wake up.
Now, these are some of the things. When the content that is being viewed is viewed by someone who doesn't have maybe the ability, the capability at that age
Yes.
to actually, understand what they are looking at. That child must have been really young to think that you could
Yes,
actually wake up
so-
from something like that.
Yes. So if parents are giving their children phones, so they should like guide them. You don't just give phone and then, like the last speaker said,
Engineer Sunday.
yes, that you should always, there is time for everything, so always do the right thing at the right time and in the right place.
And Engineer Sunday was also saying that, okay, maybe there should be like a period, maybe if it's digital learning where children are allowed to use phones. But even in that case, like if the facilities that are used are not provided by the schools, then how sure would they be that, okay, these things are actually being monitored? Because if you say everyone should bring their own personal phones, they know how to go about hiding
Yes.
whatever they want to use. Maybe you check it and you don't find it, but they are still the ones that will have it in their hand. And you
Yeah.
cannot even underestimate how wise, how smart children are these days.
Yes.
No matter what you try to do, still find a way to sneak something in. Before you
Yes.
know, another person is telling, well, I found a way that you can actually escape something like this. I found a way that you can actually do this, and everyone is hiding, everyone is doing this and that. So, well, keep your calls coming in. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I called earlier.
Okay.
Sweet Engineer Erastus Ipila.
All right, Engineer Erastus. Go on.
I called earlier and I was talking and my call dropped because of poor network.
Oh, yes, we remember.
Yes, and I'm still maintaining my position that this digital literacy, it is something that cannot be stopped. Yes, and if you will notice, little children now can operate their phones better than even their parents.
Okay.
Yes, they can. Sometimes parents are not being able to do things, but these small kids can just do it seamlessly with very easy.
Okay.
Even if they hide it, that is when it is bad, because now the parents cannot actually monitor what they are doing in the secret. The teachers cannot monitor what they are doing in the secret. But they can. The schools now can implement a special program and bring specialists like us that, okay, bring your phones to school. Digital specialists like us now to then install some particular applications in that phone that they cannot be monitored. Now, these things restrict what these students are using.
Okay.
Yes. So they cannot stop it.
Okay.
It's something that has come to stay. But now, if they restrict it, these children will hide it and still be doing those things. Anyway,
Okay.
if the schools to accept it, I'm telling you, if you go to developed places, there are other schools that are not using paper at all. They are using digital tools. In our locality now, these schools cannot afford these things now. Or
Okay.
maybe they don't have, and maybe because they are not open to have it. But we can have those students bring their own. Then they will now install things. Install things that then they will be able to monitor. You see, there are times that they can decide, the whole school can decide to seize network in the whole phone.
Okay.
Those will even be in the hand of this child, but will be useless to them to use as a particular time. Understand? So
Okay.
they can regulate the student and restrict the sites that the students are. So now it will be a win-win, and they can teach what they call digital literacy, so that these students know what is what and what is right to do at the right time.
Okay.
Instead of saying, no, we do not want to, because you see, when things are coming, it's good. There are also bad eggs among them. Then you cannot say, okay, because of the bad things, we should not go.
Okay.
You understand? So the only thing, they should accept it
Okay.
and then control it. and also how best to do it in the best way possible.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Engineer Erastus, for calling in to be part of the show this morning. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet Terhemen.
And this morning we are talking about use of phones in secondary schools. Now that is something we are raising an eyebrow to, because it wasn't like that.
Yes.
There was a time where use of phones, by students in schools, it was something that other students will even be surprised, like, how was this person able to bring a phone into school? It will be seized, destroyed, the student is punished. But these days we see students post online, videos that they made themselves, a lot of things, dancing here and there on social media, even bullying some students. That is something that I don't know, is it like becoming a trend for the students? You never know what these children be thinking about, and they just bully someone and even post about. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Oche. I'm calling from Number.
All right. Welcome to the show, Oche.
And I really appreciate what you're doing.
All right. Thank you.
You see, the orientation, that is number one thing. The orientation that these children have concerning phone, that is number one thing.
Okay.
Because some of them, they go beyond even other things that corrupt them and spoil them, not giving it the concentration. So it's not a bad idea at all for them to have phone or to be with phone in school, because it helps reach out to the parents in case of emergency. But then the orientation is very important thing that they should be given to them, so that they can be able to know the extent they use the phone and how they handle the phone. So it's not a bad thing. And let it not be a situation that they will stop using, allowing children to take phone or being, for especially those are in boarding school.
All right.
They are not with the parents. There are distance between them and the family. So if anything happens, the parents can reach out to them through their phones, maybe before even the school authority come take off from that place.
All right. All right.
All
right.
So,
thank you so much, Mr.
appreciate you
Oche.
for what you are doing.
All right.
You're trying.
All right.
Very good program.
All
and
right.
this program will give the awareness and also know how to can put the guidelines so that this thing will not spoil children.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Oche, for calling in to be part of the show this morning. It's the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. My name is Marysyntia, and I'm here with
Juliet Terhemen.
And the calls, you can keep your calls coming in. We heard from Engineer Erastus earlier, and he says, we're talking about, he called earlier too, and he was saying that it should not be banned. It should just be monitored, because it's a digital world, and whether we like it or not, it's going to come to that. That is what he said. So it cannot be stopped, but then school should accept it and then monitor it, and also like teach digital literacy, like so that the children know what is right, what is not right, how to be able to run away from things. But sometimes people know that this is wrong, but then they still want to do, especially when it comes to children, their curiosity, even at that age, have a lot of things going on, whether the adolescents, whatever they are going through at that point, like where they feel like they know more, they want to do anything that they want. So can it really be monitored to the extent that they are not allowed to do some of these things? And also Mr. Oche, our last caller, he said that the orientation is what's important. Orientation given to the children concerning phones, because the phones in school is not a bad idea, but then it's what you tell the children to do. But there are times where you say stop making noise, and immediately you finish saying stop making noise, the children will still start making noise, right? So would that really help? Like, would that be something that is very effective, or would something stronger be needed? And even he spoke about reaching out to parents in cases of emergency. Now here is something I want to talk about, phones in general, whether at home and at school, because earlier also I think Sir Benjamin mentioned that about phones even at home. But then if parents say, okay, we need to communicate with the children maybe when we are not around and stuff like that, so how about getting those landlines, and phones that maybe not Android phones,
Yes.
don't have access to internet and all of those
Multi-phones.
things. Yes, so that you can communicate with them at
Yes.
home. But then if you talk about schools, like allowing the children to bring their own phones to school and then monitoring it, I don't think that will go so well, because
Yes,
somehow children
exactly.
have a way of, they will still take those phones home, right?
Yes.
So at some point, how do you know that they are not changing it to bring something else? Do you monitor it every day? I doubt that is something that will get weaker over time, like, because you're not
Yes.
changing or checking to see if they've included new things. But then imagine, like, okay, if a school actually wants to let children use phones, like the students
Yes.
use phones, what about their own facilities? What about the school's own phones that are provided when it is needed? Like, some people are talking about how there are some things that they have to teach them, maybe on computers, on phones. But how about it's the
like,
school?
let me, like, for example, in my own school, like, they don't allow us to bring phones. And then it was a boarding school, private school for that matter. So like, they will be like, if you want to communicate to your parents at home, or you want to tell them that visiting day is approaching, you will go to your teacher and then you will use their phones and then call your parents and then tell them, remind them about that. And then about the stuff of showing them our a lot of things online, like, we have a computer
Lab,
yes.
that you go for.
So they will take us there and then they will be showing us everything. So I think that allowing
the basics
yes
were there. And also when it
Everything
comes
was
to
there.
communicating emergencies, yes, I remember that from my school as well. When it comes to like communicating emergencies, they have the phone lines, of all our parents and stuff like that.
Yes.
And also for the students, if you won't have to communicate anything to your parents, you go through there was I think it was our administration officer, that was he was responsible for that part. He had a
Yes.
phone for the school. Everyone will come in like, okay, I want to speak to my parents concerning this. I have to tell them, and the phone was granted. That point, that okay, they are not doing anything, and that is what you call, monitoring it. But one thing that is actually surprising is, if you ask different schools, they'll say, okay, we don't allow phones in our school. So where are these students actually using these phones in school uniforms, in classrooms with chalkboards or whatever boards actually showing? So there's no way that someone can deny that, okay, it's not a school, so we don't know about it. Where are they getting it from and using it in your premises?
That in schools we have the bad and then the good ones.
And just like a caller said.
Yes. So that sometimes they will say that don't bring phone to school, but some students, the stubborn ones, will insist and then bring the phone.
Okay, so it's doesn't that mean it's now time to take measures that will stop even the stubborn ones? Because you cannot say someone is too stubborn to the extent that there has to be a way to actually be able to deal with that, right? And some people are saying that, okay, parents, I heard someone mention earlier that, okay, the teachers are now reluctant, like they're relaxing on that, because to be honest, everything about school these days, I feel like it's more reluctant.
Yes. But that for me, I would like say that I blame most of the parents because they are the ones allowing this. Okay, take it for instance, they seize your child phone in school, and then when you went there, instead of you to like be calm, you go there just to fight because they seize your child's phone. Okay, like for example, in my school, if they catch you with any phone, they will seize it. And if your parents come and then is like trying to fight, my principal will be like, if you brought your child, that they should discipline the child, okay, right? So if you don't want that, then the child should be expelled from the school.
Okay,
so that you go home and then give the child that discipline that you want. So for him, that is it. He don't allow phones.
In
but if
essence,
he catch you with any phone, you are in trouble.
Okay, in essence, both the parents and the schools have a responsibility to play whatever decisions they are taking going forward. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet.
And this morning we are talking about use of phones in secondary schools. Why are secondary school students now using phones in school, boldly, not even hiding, and then no one is doing anything about it? Is it now allowed? Is it apparent parents are not checking anymore? Have the schools started allowing this to happen? Is it monitored? But if it's monitored, then it wouldn't have gotten to a point where students post whatever they like online and stuff like that. So you also can call in to be part of this conversation. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. We are talking about how secondary school students now use phones in secondary school, even in the school premises. So call in and let us hear from you, and let us hear your idea about even usage of phones in general, even at home, like we were talking about. And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and you can also watch live from there. And we got this message. She said, good morning, watching live here in Akure, Ondo State. That means you can watch from anywhere. It doesn't matter if your signal is not you're not getting what you want, from listening to the radio. Well, tune in live and then watch from there, and maybe drop a comment quickly before we go. We are talking about use of phones in secondary school. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. And also talking about those negative sides that a lot of our callers also mention, distractions during lessons. People are using, a teacher is teaching and then people are using phones under the desk, or even addiction to social media. Some of the things that they put out there which are not okay. Like I came across as different posts, recently, even a case of bullying that was all over social media. They were videoing it because I want to post it, and the boy in the video was even asking, I hope you're capturing it well, let everyone see, like next time you will not do something like this to me. So just to impress someone else, or to show that okay, I'm in charge here, or even to show that we also dance, we do this kind of challenges right in school uniforms. That is the most concerning thing, which now makes it time enough for us to question, is it that the schools are now relaxing? Because if you have put that rule that no phones should be in school, then why are we turning a blind eye when the phones are actually used in school? And then not to say that what some of our callers actually said about, the phones should be allowed, but then to be monitored. So if schools want to allow phones in secondary school, then they should actually be ready to take up that responsibility to actually monitor, this is what you're doing with your phone, to make sure that the parents are not sending the children there to even get more, to get into things that they're not supposed to get into, the kind of things. I don't want to mention everything, but then to ensure that our children are safe. And even on the side of the parents, just like you were talking about, and also another caller mentioned about coming to fight and say, my child, why did you seize the phone? Do you know how much I bought it? Stuff like that. It's your responsibility to check that these children are not taking it to school. And then when a teacher, or school authorities reports that this is the case with your child in school, then you're not supposed to take it like, okay, it's a competition, we are supposed to fight, or we are supposed to be against each other. It's like something collective. It's something that we are supposed to do collaboratively, the parents, the teachers, ensuring that the children are getting the exact kind of education, the kind of learning, when it comes to the environment, avoiding distractions that they actually need to be better people in society. Because if those distractions are there, they are not going anywhere, and that is not what we want. So Juliet, can you tell us, what are your final words on this issue of use of phones in secondary school? Some persons are saying it should be allowed so that they can actually monitor it and stuff like that. So let us hear, what are your final words before we go?
Like for me, my own side, I think that phone is a distraction, because for me, I started using phone, and then it was not even Android. I started using button phone, and it was
those
my
mobile
ancestry.
phones without internet.
Yes. Second term, when I wanted to write my jam, that was when they got a phone for me. And then seeing the Android phone, it was when I got admission to the university. So like phone is a distraction. So
at that age,
parents should not focus on like getting an Android phone for their children now, because that phone can cause more harm than good. So they should focus on like advise the child like to focus on the study. When the right time has come, then they can have that phone.
Or even like some persons are saying maybe the phones that won't have access to all those internet, and so they will have access to social media, because some people, some persons actually raise concerns, good concerns of how
because
do I communicate.
That if they are having this Android phone, then they will focus more on online
how
things,
do I communicate
and then forget about
with
studies.
my child, when I am not around. So at home there are landlines that you can put and then talk to your children, even ensuring that they are at home, because they will not carry that one and then try to even move and stuff like that. And even in the schools, if schools want to allow phones, it should be their responsibility to provide those facilities, to make sure that whatever is given, the children are actually looking at, it's being monitored. You not just say they should use it, but then we'll make sure that they are not doing the things that they do in secret. If you have been a student in your life, then you know that not everything is being caught. There are things that you do and get away with, and no one discovers that, and it's just going to that is not something that can be completely evicted. And so the way will be, okay, if you're allowing phones, if you want to allow use of these facilities, then you should be responsible. But this one, everyone is saying, no, we don't allow phones in our school. But we are seeing the students like posting and doing stuff with phones right there in school. And that is concerning, because it raises those questions like, are they actually safe? Are they learning what they are supposed to learn, or are they just getting distracted and stuff like that? So yes, we are not saying phones are completely bad. They are useful tools, but the problem is how they are being used among students, in school. So what can be done? Clear school rules on phone usage, stronger monitoring in schools, parents being more aware of how phones are used by their children, and even teaching students responsible use of technology, making those rules and then seeing that the rules are adhered to, even considering limited phone types for younger students, right? So that's it for the Speed Lane today. Being your host on the show, my name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Juliet Terhemen,
and we have been talking about use of phones in secondary school. So I hope that you have gotten something out of here. It's actually a wake-up call, even for the schools, even for the parents, to make sure that these children are growing up the right way and they are not doing things that we are going to be confused if someone asks you how come your child was able to do something like this. And also coming up next at 10 a.m. is King James 90s Top 10 right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And until then, the music won't stop. So keep enjoying music of your life. And also don't forget to remember that we all are responsible for our society.
Hello, my cutie. Asking Radio is here. Tell everyone.